I can't believe this, but it's already been 10 months since the iPhone 12 lineup was announced, and we're gearing up for another announcement from Apple for the launch of the upcoming iPhone 13, or whatever they decide to call it. I want to talk about my experience with the iPhones in general throughout this entire year, because that was the predominant device I used. And it all started with the iPhone 12 Pro. I thought this was going to be the iPhone I used, but I stopped using it after a month because the battery life was just not good. Like, I found it to be the worst out of the entire lineup, except for maybe the mini, because that's obviously a smaller device. I decided to go for the bigger one, the 12 Pro Max, which is really weird for me because usually I opt for smaller phones. I figured I'd use the display, I would take advantage of the better battery life and have a more visual experience. But the thing is, we're all stuck in the house during this entire time. I wasn't using my phone as often. I was using the computer more. I just never used my phone unless it was in passing. Like I'd be going from one spot in the house to another, or going for a walk, or going to the park with my kids. And to do stuff like that, you just didn't need the bigger display. It just wasn't worth having that size in your pocket. And I know a lot of you are saying, Matt, your hands are just too small. Oh yeah, buddy? Let's do a little contest here, okay? My hands are big, right? And if you want to check it out for yourself, I want you to measure the span between your pinky finger and your thumb, okay? Mine's 9.5 inches, ladies. I want you to tell me what yours is in the comment section down below. And even though I could handle the phone size, it's still big in your pocket. Like, you're still carrying a bigger device in your pocket. I just didn't feel like I was taking advantage of it. So after about 6 months of using the Pro Max, I decided to opt for the iPhone 12. I felt like maybe I'm gonna miss the camera experience of the Pro lineup. Maybe I'm gonna miss the bigger, brighter display that the Pro and Pro Max offer. But I didn't miss any of that. In fact, I didn't even notice it. The 500 nits on this iPhone 12 Pro feels just as bright and good as the display on the Pro Max. Camera quality was one thing I was worried about, but because we were indoors more often, I wasn't snapping photos in night situations or on travel like I used to. And I didn't use the telephoto lens on the Pro Max at all. And if I needed to on the 12, I would just zoom in a little bit. Sure, the picture quality wasn't as great because it's digital zoom, but it was more than adequate for what I needed it for. And I didn't find the camera quality between the iPhone 12 main sensor and Pro Max to be that significant. I just really didn't. Now, I did use the mini for a few weeks, and honestly, from a physical standpoint, like, this feels the best in the hand. It's just really hard for me to make this my main device because my eyesight is getting a little worse every single year as I'm getting older. I'm like 96 years old right now, so staring at a screen this small is kind of tough. But there are some things that happened right away with the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro Max. With the Pro Max, I started having weird issues. Like, the phone would just crash. Sometimes it wouldn't turn on for a while and I had to hard reset it, which was super weird. It just started acting a little funky. The iPhone 12, on the other hand, never had any of those issues. It was super solid. Now, personally, I don't think this is a problem with the Pro Max in general, and it's probably more specific to this unit, but it was nice to see that the consistency was still there on the iPhone 12. Now, from a physical appearance, there's a couple things that did scratch. Like, the camera layout, for example, gets really crufty around the lenses. Lots of dust accumulates, which is expected for any camera sensor that sticks out this high. I did keep all of these devices in a case. For example, I used a Spigen thin and light case for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so there's no major physical damage on it. And I use the Apple silicone case for the iPhone 12, which did a fantastic job. I like the way this feels much better than the Spigen one. Now, quick note about the Magsafe accessories. I thought they were cool when they came out. I still think they are, but quite honestly, they haven't really surprise me in any way. I don't feel like I need to have them in my life right now. They're not benefiting the way I charge my phones. I still just throw my phone on a wireless charger and let it do its thing, but maybe you guys have found some super benefits by using Magsafe. The other thing is the display. It scratches really easily. Like, within 2 days of me getting this 12 Pro Max, there was a little scratch at the top left-hand corner of the display. Sure, these displays are becoming more durable. Like when you drop the device, you have a higher chance of it not breaking. But in order to do that, the first layer of that glass becomes softer, right? That's just the way it works, unfortunately. Now it's really weird because I do change every day. Like I don't wear the same clothes, I promise. But I don't carry anything else in the pocket where I carry the phone. So it just shows you how easily it has become to scratch the displays on these devices. So any of you thinking of getting an iPhone or any phone in general, probably put a screen protector on it. Now there's one area where I feel like Apple will make the phone feel significantly faster, more faster than just upgrading to the latest and greatest A-series processor, because those processors are so fast right now that it's hard to notice the difference in performance from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 11. I really think the way Apple can get people to feel like they got a speed upgrade on their phone is just introducing a higher refresh display. Like right off the bat, 120 hertz display, no matter the type of hardware that's inside of here, is going to make a mid-range Android phone feel faster than a phone with a 60 hertz display. Now, thankfully, the rumors on the iPhone 13 are pointing in that direction. Then there's consistency, and this is why I predominantly use an iPhone as my main device. There's just no other smartwatch out there that gives me the kind of information that the Apple Watch does. Like I run every day, I want to be able to stream my music directly on my watch. I just want the continuity between devices to be perfect. And sure, you can do that with the Galaxy watches and some Android phones, but it's not even on the same level. It just really isn't. And that's probably like the main reason I'm tied to the iPhone. Now, I predominantly use a Windows PC, but I do use a MacBook Pro as a Ultrabook or light laptop to carry around, and I really enjoy that continuity. Like being able to get my text messages on the device that I'm looking at right off the bat, like my headphones, automatically switching to the computer I'm staring at. I know you can do this stuff on Windows, but it's not nearly as seamless as how it works in the Apple world. The last thing I want to mention is battery life. The Mini has an excuse. It's a small phone with a lot of power, therefore the battery is smaller. So we don't expect it to give us the best battery life in the world. You'll probably have to charge this by the end of the day. But the funny thing is, the Pro Max and the 12, I felt like they had the same battery life, right? The iPhone 12 Pro was worse, but the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro Max felt very similar. Now this must be a placebo thing. I'm sure the Pro Max gets better battery life overall, but I didn't feel like it was a lot more. Like I was able to end the day on both of these devices with anywhere from 35% battery life to sometimes 50%. So that's my experience with all of these iPhones. I think the moral of this revisit video is that if you're looking at one of these devices today, I still think the iPhone 12 in general is the sweet spot. You know, I find that I didn't miss the more excessive camera features of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I didn't feel like I was getting a benefit of carrying that bigger phone. And I feel like the battery life wasn't significantly better on the Pro Max to really justify the extra cost. Now, let me know your experience with your iPhone 12, or if you're considering buying one, in the comment section down below. Also, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.